Welcome. My name is Melissa Anderson, and I'm the Campus Engagement and Research Services Librarian at Southern Oregon University's Hannon Library. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Statista database for research. What is Statista, and what can you do with it? It is an aggregator of statistical data and information from other sources that is provided to Southern Oregon University students, faculty, and staff by Hannon Library. By accessing this database, you can find and download dossiers of market research that you can then cite and use in business plans and other research projects. You can also use it to find quantitative data about an industry or to browse statistics relating to politics, trends, and more. Once you find useful survey data, you can then review the metadata, such as the size of the sample, the demographics of those surveyed, the date of the survey, and more. This is important because this metadata helps you evaluate the reliability of the information. You can also use Statista to collect information about the markets for various digital and consumer products. Statista is also a good source of infographics on a number of current topics. So, how do you access Statista? Since Statista is a subscription database, you are going to want to be logged in to the Hannon Library website using your SOU credentials to make sure you can access it. Once you've logged in, just find Statista in the A to Z list of databases or on one of the many research guides on the library website. Once you click on the link, you'll be able to search Statista using keywords or browse by category. Let's try it now. From the library homepage, click on Databases by title, and then click on S for Statista. Find Statista in the list, and then click on the link. You will then be taken to a landing page for the database. Note that at the top right side of the screen you see the words My Account. You'll also see the words Welcome Southern Oregon University at the top of the screen. If you don't see those words, but instead see Login on the top right instead, that means that the database is not recognizing you as an SOU affiliated user. If that happens, just go back to the library homepage and make sure you are logged in. You can search for data without being logged in, but once you try to access it, you will be asked to purchase it instead of getting a link to retrieve it, which is not what you want. You may have to log in even if you are searching from a library computer with this particular database. The database is recognizing me as an SOU user now, so we're all good here. Let's do a search. I'm imagining that I'm writing a paper on the sports apparel industry and on the Nike company in particular. I type Nike into the search box and run a search, and I get a bunch of results, 369 in fact. Now I've got some choices depending on what I need. I could look for infographics or statistics, but I'm actually looking for a more in-depth research report, which Statista calls a dossier. If I limit my search to just Statista dossiers and reports, I'll have a lot fewer to look through. Most of these are looking at the industry or market more generally, but there is one that is focused specifically on Nike, so it looks like I'm in luck. Let's click on that link to get more information. Now I get a description of what's included in the report, and even a brief summary down below. I also get the date the report was released, and that's important. I want information that's as current as possible. This one says it was released in August 2017, so that's pretty good. I can choose to download the dossier in PowerPoint or PDF format, and it's really a matter of preference. The information is the same. Once you choose a format, you will see that the dossier is a collection of results from multiple consumer research surveys, industry analyses, and more from various sources. The references at the end of the document give you complete information about each graphic, such as who conducted the survey, when it was published, where the survey is located online. All of this is important information to include in your citation if you refer to one of the graphics specifically. Now, Let's say that instead of looking for a dossier on an industry or a company like Nike, I'm just looking for statistics about an activity to help me prove that there is a market for a startup. Instead of searching for sports apparel or Nike, I'm just going to run a search on running and see what I get. I get a number of results, some of which are just single charts or infographics, and some of which are dossiers similar to the one I looked at on Nike, but on the activity of running and jogging. I can also scroll through the list and see what other types of statistics might be available. If I'm particularly interested in trail running, for example, then I might find this statistic charting the number of participants in trail running over a 10-year period very helpful. If I click on it, I get the data as well as the information about it, where it came from, how it was collected and analyzed, and so on. There's even a link to a citation generator to help me cite this graphic. Going back to the Statista homepage, I want to show you some other ways to look for information. In addition to searching with keywords, you can also browse topics and categories of interest using the tabs and drop-down menus at the top of the screen. You could choose to browse by industry, by type of report, by consumer market, or by digital market. You could also just browse for infographics if that is what you are looking for. Usually the ones on the front page of this section are related to current events and trending topics, but you can also always search using the search bar at the top and then just limit your results to infographics. That's an overview of Statista, the portal for statistics. To review, you will need to access Statista from the Hannon Library website to make sure you can retrieve information free of charge. Then, once you have accessed the portal, you can search using keywords or browse categories using the tabs and drop-down menus. You want to note the date and other information for the statistics and reports you retrieve so you can cite them in your paper or business plan. If you need further assistance with citations or with using the Statista database, just stop by the Research Help Desk at Hannon Library or contact me at andersm18@sou.edu. Thank you, and good luck with your research.